We basically, I can actually give a simple answer to that, like not to explain the whole story and so on. We have been experimenting with some ideas for example, a monitoring system is like always expecting some data. And if we see a difference in the pattern, and if it's not related to the traffic and so on, we actually want to like automatically generate some alerts. So like, this is more of like an anomaly detection type of thing on the observability data. So we will be able to, ping people saying, there's like something wrong going on, like we're not collecting as much as data that we are expecting us. And there's like, more typical monitoring solutions you can check, you can rely on the SLOs and so on. But on top of that, we also want to do some anomaly detection to see if there's any difference in the data we're collecting.
And so we've got another question for you as well, Jaana, which is how on earth do you store it? How do you store these massive amounts of data?
It's actually like people think that it's a lot of data, and it's a lot of data, but I didn't mention when I was talking about open census, but Google's instrumentation stack for monitoring is really based on aggregating things on the fly. For example, we're aggregating metrics in the client libraries. Open census metrics library does aggregation in the process as much as it possibly. So rather than like exporting every data point, we aggregate things. That's one thing. Outside of the process at Google, there's all this like stuff that called delta aggregators. So on the same machine, for example, you run a process, sort of like an agent that takes all that data and aggregates again. And we end up like, doing like multiple layers of aggregation when it actually hits the storage engine. And engine is like some sort of like a time series database. We also like have like hard limits in terms of like cardinality. If you want to like tag label the data, we have like a very we have hard limits around those. The dynamic so reducing the cardinality, aggregating things all around. And the other thing that I mentioned, like the dynamically being able to enable and enable things, is really helping us because we don't have to collect all the things all the time. We can just go and like specifically collect things when we need them. There's a very good art talk from George Talbot about Monarch. Monarch is the system that we use. So you can actually take a look. If you search for it, Monarch, George Talbot, probably it's going to appear.